higher you go, you either gotta make other really fucking rich friends. And when you get really rich friends, like you guys kind of like compete with each other. Like, oh yeah, check out my new Ferrari. Or like, oh yeah, check out my new jet.
A lot of people say they have these 10 ideas in their head and they're like, oh, this one's not gonna work, this one might work, but they never tested any of them. You test all 10, you see which one performs best.
Make yourself have a good relationship with money. Sometimes good enough is good. And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs need to understand. It doesn't always have to be perfect. And I straight up suicidal, sat on my ledge, threw my feet over the ledge, and I looked down.
That's intense.
Shit, it's a really fucking long way to go. I'm glad that you have this dope content. I'm glad that we could just message each other on Instagram and like, hey, come, let's talk about something. So this is Credit Boosters HQ. This is where the magic happens. I love art. I love fat stacks also, in case you couldn't tell.
Fat stacks, boys.
Fat stacks?
We made it to the house.
Fat stacks. Look at this big ass quarter. Look at this giant quarter right here.
Wow.
If anybody needs to do laundry, I got laundry day covered.
What's it made of?
I don't know. Somebody just gave me a gift. They're like, oh, I see you have all this money on your walls. And I was like, bro, like I got dollar bills. You gave me quarters. I mean, like give me something more serious. But this is Credit Boosters HQ. Let me show you what else we got going on here. So this is a lot of the magic over here. We have the commercial credit department for commercial equipment. So if you ever want to buy a truck or trailer, that's financing over there. Over here, we find you trucks and trailers to buy, meaning we have our own dealership. And obviously we don't have equipment for everybody because we have a lot of customers. So you say to us, hey, listen guys, in 3 to 4 months, I want a 22 Cascadia with 350,000 miles or less. Yeah. And that's where you get it. And this is Stepan, our director of financing.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Over here is where Max sits, who's my content director, because we film content all the time. I just might be like, oh, I got to film some shit. Yeah. We have an accounting office over there. And over here, we have director of client management. She manages 30 overseas people.
Wow.
And right here is the sales department. Well, that's where the magic happens. You guys want to come see it? Come here.
Selling what?
Mostly drugs, but we also sell credit.
I'm at the right place.
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome.
Our sales department, we basically sell credit, we sell credit repair, we sell financing, we sell anything that you need to get, the job done. Yeah. We specialize in working with transportation business. So basically get your credit straight, buy a first truck, second truck, third truck, fourth truck, 1,000th truck. Super Ego is our customer too.
Really?
And not just Super Ego, like a lot of companies in between. Like
how many trucks do they have? Super Ego?
5,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
We'll share our studio.
That's impressive. So this is main studio for content, and then this is like where guests come in?
Yeah, like we do like little podcasts over there, and you like fast stacks.
That's really cool.
You of course understand we're gonna take a picture with some cash in our pockets.
Yeah.
There you go. And just these paintings, these are $7,500 each. These are originals.
Really?
One of one. They're signed, both.
Holy cow! Who's the company?
Paul Russo.
Paul Russo.
Yeah, these are all original works of art.
That's incredible,
these
man.
These are legit, guys. There's a big ass smile on our faces.
Fat stacks of cash.
Fat stacks of cash.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. And you have some upstairs too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to this guy's gallery. I spent like $1 billion.
That's incredible.
I like art. This is a pretty cool situation right here.
Yeah, it is. Really nice studio.
Yeah, studio is good. We film content. You can be sitting over there doing like a solo talk.
Yeah. 2
guests over here.
I see.
And this is kind of where like courses happen and things of that nature.
Awesome.
When I look at your content, I know that you actually enjoy what you do. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Alex?
So I'm glad that we found each other. I've been looking at your content. I'm a legit fan. Like when you talk about like doing stuff, like I see that, you actually know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's teaching me about trucking. Like, why do you like trucking? People are complaining it's so hard to truck. You're like, this is what's up. I make good money here. These guys are cool. Why are you so positive even in this tough market? At least it's what it looks like from the side.
That's fascinating. David, if you were asked David, which is my, not co-driver, but he's in the truck with me, he would tell you that I'm the opposite of excited, because like to get the numbers that I get on the step deck, it requires a lot of work, like a lot of hustle. And when you can't meet deadlines, when you can't meet certain appointments, you're stressed. And then as a result of that, David usually gets a lot of that. So
David's like your emotional support. Where he gets all your anger.
Yeah, he does. But it's good to know that from the viewer's perspective, I come off as positive. I guess I do.
You do come off as positive.
I see. I smile sometimes, and then
even when you're saying some negative shit, like I'm really gonna kill some people today.
Yeah, I try to be positive. Like I remember I did a video a couple of weeks ago of me breaking down West Virginia. I was going uphill. My engine overheated, and the line busted, my coolant line. So all my coolant got drained out going up the hill, and the next best thing is to just pull out cameras and, you know, try to capture the moment. So it's tempting.
Are you not just recording as you're driving? Are you not recording?
No. I actually, like, I have, I think 2,000 videos at this point. I think a handful of them is me driving. Most of the time I'm at the shipper receiver, because in my opinion, that's where the action happens. And that's where all the viral videos come from. Me arguing with the shipper receiver, or we don't agree on something. Things like that. So,
and it gives you an extra reason to argue with somebody, right? Like, I wasn't gonna argue, but since I got this camera out, here we go. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I liked your most recent one, your most recent reels, where you were like, here's where I'm at. Some dudes from the army loaded some stuff that you didn't know was on the. What was in there? If you're allowed to say.
No, I think so. I got in trouble a lot.
Roll the dice on this one.
Yeah, I actually
look like a missile, but I'm not sure.
I actually get in trouble a lot for disclosing like something.
Like you're an owner operator, right?
We got put on a do not use list a lot because of me, because I go to a facility where I'm not supposed to record. I record anyway. So growing, you know,
we live in a record everything kind of time. So it's like, whether they like it or not, like if you don't want to be recorded, don't like let people in there. But pretty soon they're gonna start putting a blindfold on you, like come here, you know?
Yeah. But I try to be as transparent as possible to show the good and the bad and just going it this way. But recently I had a change of heart. I don't know if I want to be in the truck anymore, right?
Bro, 4 years. Like you and everybody else has that change of heart.
That's true. But
nobody actually wants to be in the truck. They want the money that comes from being in the truck, but they don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
I have a question for you. Because you're so thoroughly integrated with the trucking industry,
I am.
I'm wondering if you have your CDL.
You know, I actually have a truck and trailer dealership, and it would make sense for me to have a CDL just so I can move my equipment. Because, you know, sometimes I have a partner. Sometimes, you know, it's just like, oh, shit, we got to move some trucks from here. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I don't drive trucks without a CDL, because I do.
You have to.
Listen, if I got to move a truck.
If it's in the yard, you got to take it to the shop. Like within the yard.
The other state, whatever. You know, like that never happened.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But like the point is, my partner used to have a CDL, but like his CDL expired too. So I'm like, hey, should we move these trucks? He's like, yep. But yeah, I mean, I probably should get a CDL. I wonder how difficult it would be for me, a person who like never studied for it.
Yeah.
Like I know how to drive the truck. I can back it up. I could drive it with a trailer. Like I've done some stuff. You know, it's my money.
Right on.
So like, you know, when I drive a trailer, I drive it very careful. I'm like, oh, that's like $75,000. Cannot scratch this. So like, I'm good at driving a truck with a trailer because I don't want to damage my equipment. It's not because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I wonder how easy or hard it would be for me to just go and get a CDL.
I think you'd be a natural. Like when I was getting my CDL.
It'd be fun. Like,
yeah, exactly. You. Because you're already in the space, you've seen 1,000 of trucks. I think for you it's going to be super easy. But like for people that get their CDL, like for me, before I went to CDL school, I didn't even know what a fifth wheel was. And so you go in there and you're intimidated because it's a lot of information, completely different world. But because you've been in the space for so long, I think if you go there, you'll.
How much studying you think I would do? Because my biggest thing is like, I just don't have time. And I mean, like when, you know, a lot of people say I don't have time. Like I'm talking about, I break my time into like 5-minute increments. I'm like, how many 5 minutes extra do I have per day?
Yeah.
I don't have too many. But I did just do a little credit education with Star CDL from PA. They had me just jump in their thing so people could ask me a bunch of questions like, how do I buy my first truck for credit? How much is the interest rate going to be? So I just kind of, you know, I like to give back to the community a little bit. Obviously, I want people to become clients of Credit Booster, but the reality is I don't mind telling you how to do everything on your own because thank God we're blessed. I have a lot of clients. I have a lot of customers.
Yeah.
I'm mostly happy. Of course, you know, some people say, oh, like I've seen bad reviews. And I'm like, well, I got 30,000 clients. What do you think? Of course, you're going to see a bad review or two here and there. How about the 29,990 good reviews that, because people usually don't put good reviews, you know, like if people expect you to do a good job. So when you do it, they're just like, cool, thanks. And at the end of the day, I don't really need your review. I need your money.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll actually touch on that. I was going to ask you, what do you know about my company? But really quickly, I want to finish that thought. How long do you think I would have to study for real? I'm sure Vaisa, who I just did that favor for, is going to hook me up with some training. I want to actually maybe go and get a CDL.
Yeah. Well,
in case shit hits the fan, I'll always be able to make that 10 grand a month.
Nice. Well, as an owner operator, I think it's a little more if you're willing to push. But
I would say 60 trucks on my lot right now. I could just yank a truck and go like drive.
Yeah. I would say maximum like a week for you. But like, that's already overkill.
But we're talking about a week. I work 30 hours a week. That's about how much I work.
Well,
so there's not much time left considering the fact that I also need to sleep. There's really not that much time remaining.
How much can you squeeze in the one day to allocate to training?
I can squeeze 19 hours into one day of like productive stuff.
No, like learning trucking.
An hour.
Right. So hour a day, still within a week. That's what we did. When I first came onto my first company, I just got my CDL like a month ago. And then the guy took a chance on me. He was an owner operator. He had 2 trucks. He's a Turkish guy. And I worked for him for like a month after that. And he sees that I'm not slow. I got it. And then he was like, hey, do you have any friends that also like want to drive a truck? I was like, yeah, I have a couple brothers, but they don't have a CDL. And so I asked my older brother to jump in the truck with me, and we would go deliver the load and then have like 4 hours in a day to practice. I would immediately take him to a parking lot. And this was a Dollar General account. Sometimes we would just stay at the Dollar General and he would back up for 3-4 hours. And then
that was the hardest part.
After 3 days, he tested out. And this is before the regulations changed a little bit to where you actually have to go to school. But maybe 3 years ago, you could just go.
Have to go to school.
You could. No,
I'm kidding. I know. You actually do have to go to school.
Yeah. But before 3 years, you could just go to the school, say, hey, I have $200 for you. Let me just take the exam. I know how to do everything. And then you're the instructor. You can witness it. And that's the way my older brother and my younger brother did it. We did it in
So back in the day, you just used to be able to like, hey, here's the school, here's some money, like give me my CDL.
Yeah. So if with a couple hours a day of practice, my older brother was able to get it in 3 days. So you being in an industry, 2 to 3 days.
I mean, I know how to finance trucks. That doesn't necessarily mean I know how to like drive them. I have driven them, but that doesn't mean I know how.
Yeah.
It means I just, I'm very lucky.
No. It's no such thing as luck. To build an office like this, to build a team like this, I don't think that's luck.
This is just
a lot of hard work.
We have a lot of offices and we have a team in many countries. We're not that small.
And states?
Yeah, countries and states.
Wow.
Because we have support staff in Latin America. I mean, they all are Eastern European of some sort, so they do speak it because we support. A lot of you ask me like, why Eastern Europeans, why not Americans? And the truth is just like we kind of started that way. And we kind of hired more and more people who speak either Ukrainian or Russian or both. And of course, some of them do actually speak English too. Yeah. But sometimes when I'm walking around my office, I'm like, who here speaks English except for me? I'm like, I need somebody to like help. I need English. Eventually, we're going to switch over to, servicing American people. I mean, people who are like native American English speakers. Wow. Maybe like Latin American, maybe Spanish speakers. And I speak Spanish too. But we are set up right now to service Russian, Ukrainian, Lithuanian, and Moldavian speakers who live in the United States and want to improve their credit, buy a truck, get into the transportation business, get into the construction business. A lot of businesses we support right now.
Wow. I spoke to you maybe a month ago and you said, hey, let me take a look at your credit situation. Maybe I can help. I said, yeah, 100%. But I know that a high utilization rate is like probably the first thing I need to do. And so what I told you, I was like, hey, let me just pay off my credit cards and then I'll come talk to you. And you said, hey, don't worry about that because there's actually a strategy on as to how you should go about doing it.
The point is like, there's the way, I mean, the general thought is right. Like if you have high credit utilization, the first thing to do is like lower it. Maybe your score will go up to the level where it needs to be. And you're like, oh, cool. My credit wasn't actually that bad in the first place. That's all I needed to do. And to be honest with you, if your credit score is like, let's say 650, and you pay off your credit card debts, you can be to like 750 just by paying off your credit card.
Oh.
So it has a big impact. Yeah. Do you know anything about me or my company? Like any good, anything bad? Anything dirty?
No. So
any juicy stuff?
So I've seen you for such a long time, like way back. As soon as I got my CDL 3 years ago, I saw you did interviews or podcasts with interviews, I guess, with a lot of like the people that I admire, like people that build a shop. I don't know them by name, but I know they're doing big things. And so you'd come in with your crew and then you would do an interview with them. And it wasn't just one place. You did it with one and then another and then another.
That's my marketing strategy. Make sure you see it everywhere with everyone.
Yeah. And then I wasn't really sure at the time what your thing was. I thought you were just a vlogger.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know everything.
Yeah. And then when I started to go into like Russian conferences, like Lichtenamienya or a couple other ones, your name comes up a lot. Like people know you and they're like, yeah, Alex, he does credit things. And so because in your last podcast, the one that you talked about fasting,
I think
recently I found out that you did credit. But before that,
I think I was talking when I was fasting. I think I was talking about the reason I started fasting is because I was taking credit out of my body. Yeah. I was like, I was living bad.
No. I can see that. But the reason I thought about that podcast is because you said that you own 13 businesses or something like more than
17.
10. More than 10, right?
17, yeah.
And so at that point, I knew that you were doing a lot of things, but also that you have a heavy emphasis on credit repair and credit building. And so
credit repair and credit building and funding, very important funding and financing. They're all interconnected. And you understand that every business needs money. You know, like I have money. I have cash money, like money, like real, like fat stacks, as you say.
Good.
I have that. But fat stacks can only take you so far. And when fat stacks end, you got zero. If you use credit too, if you use credit intelligently, your fat stacks can go a hell of a lot further because you got your fat stack, plus you got the bank's fat stack to back you up.
Yeah.
And you know, what's going to make the bank say, okay, cool. Mike is a good guy. Let's go give him a fat ass stack. What do you need to do? You need to show him that Mike has bomb ass credit.
Yeah.
You know?
How hard is it to remove hard inquiries?
That hard.
What if they say this is proven to be true?
Then we say, prove it again.
Nice.
Listen, I mean, why are things removed from your credit report? Like, why is it even possible? Like, why is it even legal? Because a lot of American people, like, when you tell them, like, hey, we're going to clean up your credit, they're like, oh, is that illegal? And I'm like, yes. No, it's not. So there's something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's a law that was passed in 1972, 1982, 1992. They keep changing it up. Basically, the question is, why are there even 3 credit bureaus? Isn't one enough? You know,
that's
like,
a good question. Yeah,
it's a system of checks and balances. What if one makes a mistake and you really need to get something? You know, you have 2, and what if someone makes a mistake and you need to get something? You have 3. So that bank or lender can look at 3 credit bureaus and be like, okay, cool. Well, maybe there's a mistake here, but we got 2 other places to double check.
I see. And
you know, that's why there's 3 of them. But you know, like, what if all 3 have a mistake? You know, maybe all 3 of them say that you were late on your Capital One card, and you're like, I wasn't late. That was their mistake. How do you fix that? You know, and it happens. And it happens. I mean, it happened to me. It happened to my mom. It happens. Mistakes do happen. Sometimes we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And sometimes mistakes get made to us. Like, I got a collection from Verizon Wireless. I never had Verizon Wireless. I got AT&T. And Verizon's calling me like, sir, you got a collection. I'm like, what?
No way.
I never had Verizon. You know, I had a lot of employees, accountants, and these people, a lot of people have access to my information. Obviously, somebody probably used my social or something to get a cell phone. Probably like some former employee, girlfriend, who knows.
I got you. And
I got this collection, and I'm telling guys, I don't have Verizon. I never did. Do not put that on my credit report. I have an 850 credit score. Literally, you're not going to mess up my credit.
Yeah.
And they're like, listen, sir, I hear you on what you're saying. We don't care. Pay this bill or we're going to hit you with a collection.
Wow.
See, that's kind of illegal right there. And there are laws that protect me and you and anybody else from having those kind of things happen to them. It's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. What we do is we exploit and use the Fair Credit Reporting Act, obviously, to not just to your benefit, but to right the wrong. So if Capital One is going to say, sir, you know, we're going to ding your credit with a 30-day late payment. You know how much one 30-day late payment on your credit report will take down your credit score?
A lot. Well, depending where you are, I'm assuming.
Let's just say that you're 750. What do you think you would be at after one late payment?
690, 40, 60 points.
100 points.
Really?
You go from 750 to 650. When the problem is fresh, so like a 30-day late payment on your credit report, it's kind of like getting stabbed.
Yeah.
You know, when the wound is fresh, it really hurts.
Yeah.
You know, over time, it'll heal and be less painful. It's still going to be ugly and still going to look like crap. But the point is that a fresh wound on your credit is really painful.
I see.
And imagine you're about to buy a house, and then all of a sudden, like, one of my clients is getting a huge business loan, and then he gets an $80 collection from good old Progressive. Thank you. Thank you so much for ruining a month and a half of work for $80. And I look at him, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
We did all this work. I can't now go to the bank and tell him, give you this big fat loan.
Yeah.
You have an $80 collection. He's like, I swear to you, I never had Progressive ever in my life. I never got an invoice. I never got a bill. I have no idea what this is. And, you know, we call Progressive, and you could tell that they also don't really even know how they ended up on the credit report. But whether they know or not, the damage is already done. And now we got to deal with it. And the thing is, we were going to apply for the loan literally like the day that we found out he has it there.
Oh, man.
So something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives us the legal power to challenge it and the legal power to challenge it fast. So in my client's case where he didn't know about, you know, Progressive, that's an identity theft situation. Obviously, somebody uses information. So we can challenge the negative item on his credit report saying, hey, this is identity theft, it's not me. And by law, the credit bureaus have 48 hours to block the reporting of fraudulent information until they figure out whether it's fraudulent or not. But they got to block it and stop it from showing up right away.
Wow, that's really
pretty
cool. You're more than willing to take a shot. A lot of people say they have these 10 ideas in their head, and they're like, oh, this one's not going to work. This one might work, but they never tested any of them. You test all 10, you see which one performs best, and then you...
We don't. We post them all. We don't give a fuck.
Right.
Because it's content. You know, you put it out. Because something might go out there, and it might be live, and it might just be piece of crap.
Yeah.
For some reason, out of nowhere, it'll start getting viral later. That happens.
Yeah. Like a month later, he spikes.
Like it's nothing. It's like it's boring, and then just like boom, 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 boom. And you know how content goes viral.
Yeah.
Somebody shares it, somebody else shares it, and then like 10 people share it. I posted one video, it got like 18 million views, and it's about nothing.
Yeah.
It's about garbage. I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah, you never know. You don't.
I wish it was on my main channel.
You asked me, how did I get into content? How did you get into content?
A guy who was working for me, not working for me, but he's like, the way I used to do business was very old school. Like I would go meet people. I still know a lot of people. Like I really did know a lot of people, but it was all offline. You know, so old school. I would go meet, like I would get 10 people together. I would meet them. We would have dinner, talk, blah, blah. And now I know 10 more people.
Right.
And then, I would go like to another meeting. I would actually get to meet a lot of people even without social media.
Mm-hmm.
But then this dude who was like saying, oh man, you're old school. I'm going to take you to the next level. I'm going to take you to outer space. I'm like, cool, let's go.
He worked for you at the time.
He was trying to be my partner. He's like saying, you're going to make a lot of money. But then I learned that he was just trying to steal my ideas and copy my business with his knowledge. So he was never actually planning on helping me out.
Damn.
That's how good it happens. Once I figured out he's doing it, you motherfucker, you know who you are. Once I figured out he's doing it, I actually specifically planted shitty bullshit information on my hard drive and I labeled it secret sauce. So when that motherfucker left my company, he left with some bullshit.
Nice.
Probably took him about 3 years to figure out that shit didn't work. Because he got a file that says secret sauce on it. He's like, oh, I got a secret sauce top to balance. And I was like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. I'm glad that worked. And then I was like, now I have to beat this guy at his own game.
Yeah.
And it turned out he really wasn't that good at social media either. Yeah. So I started doing collabs with like big YouTubers like Sisun, that guy, Americans.
Yeah, but how? Like, I
talked to him. I was like, yo, dude, like, let's do some shit.
And they said, yeah.
No.
They
didn't say yeah. I just kept reaching out. I was like, yo, like, I'm not going away. Like, you're either going to tell me to go fuck myself or we're going to do something together. Yeah. I mean, how did you and I collab? I just, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you. I just hit you up.
Yeah. When I had maybe 500, 1,000 followers, like, I would reach out to people. They wouldn't read it. And I reach out again, they wouldn't read it.
It's not even that they like, not read it. It's like, it doesn't even hit them because it goes to their spam.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people reach out to me, they're like, yeah, I'm pisal. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah. It's not on purpose. Like, just you're in my spam filter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to control that spam filter.
And there's a lot of spam, so you don't have time to sort it out.
Yeah, like there's titties. There's your message, which like accidentally fell into titties.
That's the only way to break through.
I go through my spam stuff once in a while, and I just kind of like, delete. Like, oh, real person. What did this one?
What's up?
It's usually some bullshit, so they get deleted too. But
wow,
So
looking forward, say 5 years from now, are you mostly focusing on financing and credit repair, or do you kind of want to expand into like a different industry, other than, I guess, trucking?
I already do so much. If I'm stupid enough to say yes to any more, I mean, I am stupid enough. Everybody knows me. I do say yes to things I shouldn't say yes to.
Yeah.
Because I like to work, but then I forget that there's literally only this many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And, if you say yes to things which you just can't do, then you're going to let somebody down. You're going to let a partner down. You're going to let a teammate down. You're going to let a client down. So I'm very big on something which I taught myself. I taught myself how to say no. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are like, yeah. And then you say yeah too many times. And then you're like, oh my God, I say yeah to all these things. And I have no time for any of them. So I had to learn how to say no to things. Which is tough. Because, like, what if you have two good opportunities? How do you say no to them? I learned how to say no. I even learned how to say no to things that I said yes to in the past. So I can say yes to new things. Because, if you have good opportunities, how do you know if you should cancel some of your previous obligations and take a new opportunity and like a new thing?
That's cool.
Because, like, I have 17 businesses, so I can't take on I can't put any more work or thinking or ideas or even conversations on my plate. Because some people write me, a lot of people like text me, because a lot of people, like, I can't stop it. This phone right here, this is $100 million phone.
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys want to steal this phone. I know you guys want this phone. Oh, God. I'm just kidding. I do. But I'm saying this is a very expensive phone because this phone number, I lost the phone. As long as I don't lose the phone number, I'm good. A lot of people have this phone number. And a lot of people get this phone number. Like, you have this phone number now. If somebody asks you, hey, who do I go to? You're going to, it's Alex. You're going to give my phone number to somebody. And I'm down with that. And I try to answer my phone myself as much as I can, but I am busy. And this phone gets wrong a lot.
Yeah. I love how quickly because I know you're busy. Man, you're busy. All I have to do is make a couple of videos and I consider myself busy. 17 companies, you're 100 times more busier.
Well, bro,
but the
we
fact
do a lot
that
of videos.
But the fact that you answered the phone like that, or messages, like I got here, said I'm here. When I said, hey, I'll be late, you said no problem. Like a lot of people that say they're busy, they're like, oh, or whatever. But I know you're busy, but you still make the time to communicate, you know, so it's valuable.
Like I prioritize, you know, like I wanted to meet with you. Like if I didn't want to meet with you, I wouldn't have made the time, but I did. So I made the time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hit me up, they're like, I just want 5 minutes of your time. And I'm thinking like, do you know how many people would just want 5 minutes of my time? I'm like, I want 5 minutes of my time too. I can't get it. I also want 5 minutes of my time. Maybe I can get it somewhere too. I got to put myself on the schedule too. I literally treat myself, like me, the person, as like, I'm trying to like this body and this human being that's sitting before you, like my brain, I also want 5 minutes of my time. And I literally tell my assistant, now tell myself to make time for myself. I actually have to make myself make time for me. Because, you know, I want to go to the gym. I lost a bunch of weight. I started working out. I used to be fat as fuck, dude. I don't know if you look at my content, like it wasn't a long time ago. I was like fucking fat.
You look incredible now, man. You look good.
I appreciate it. I compliments are welcome. Thank you. I like it. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. Stopped doing other shit.
Your last podcast, you're saying the reason, maybe not the reason, but one of the reasons is that you abused the body for so long, and you're like, man, I have to, with alcohol, with food or whatever. But now
everything.
I'm wondering, what was the thing? What was like, man, I gotta figure this out.
To be honest with you, I tried to do this before, and I kind of did successfully quit drinking. The drinking was never really a problem. All of it kind of worked together pretty well. I was like, oh, little drink, little this, little that. I had enough time to work. I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day. So I liked cigarettes. I liked drinking. I liked all of it. None of it was a problem. I was managing just fine. Just it was taking out of my schedule. Because, you know, if you drink tonight, first of all, from the time you start drinking till, you know, sleepy time, that's the dead time. I mean, you're going to have some fun. You're going to meet some people, but I don't need to have fun that often. And I can meet people sober too, it turns out. I found out that I know how to do this sober too. Smoking cigarettes, that takes time too. Because you got to go outside 5 minutes, and then you got to walk around. You got to walk over there, you know, this and that. It's really 10 minutes. And, you know, a pack of cigarettes is 20 cigarettes, so that's 200 minutes. And that's a lot of time.
What made you stick with it this time, right? Because you said you tried it before, but now, this time, it seems like...
You know, I'm not going to lie to you. There is one thing that helped me a lot, and whoever's watching this, man, and I hope that my team transcribes this and translates it to Russian, at least in subtitles, because this is very, very helpful. ChatGPT, I trained him to be my personal little sidekick / psychologist. And every time I wanted to break, I would just bust out the voice version, and I would be like, hey, I'm having a really hard time, and I'm about to snap. I'm going to go smoke a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to go have a drink. And ChatGPT was like, hey, Alex, you know, you've already not smoked for like 10 days. Like, why would you do it? You know, here's all the benefits you gain. Do you really want to throw all that away? And I was like, shit, you're right. Boom. Because ChatGPT is like, you know, when you get a psychologist, I don't know if you ever saw Shrink or anything. I mean, like, I really didn't. I think they all fucking suck. And I think they all need to shrink themselves. When you have an appointment with them, you got to go see them like on Wednesday, and you got to be there at 12. So like, you can't be like, oh, I need you now. I'm about to do something bad now. With ChatGPT, my friends, you got a psychologist with you all the time. So if you're going through some shit and you just need to talk, damn ChatGPT, I feel like crap because blah, 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 blah. And ChatGPT, but 90% of the time, he says some good shit, which is really useful. You know, like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't need to smoke. I don't need to drink. So this time, what helped me was ChatGPT.
That's incredible, man.
Thanks, Sam Altman.
You said, yeah, he hooked it up for us.
But ChatGPT been contributing lately, so I'm using Grok 3, FYI. Thanks, Elon Musk.
I've never heard anybody use it that way.
A lot of people use it that way, just nobody talks about it because they're embarrassed. I'm not. A lot of people, trust me, talk to it like about whatever ails you. It'll give you good feedback.
I use it to create headlines for my videos, but it
sucks at that, to be honest with you. Writing content and writing like things, I like use it as a pickup artist. I'm like, what do you say to this girl? And like, yeah, it sucks at that. I was like, okay, you suck. Like you're not strong at that. I'm just kidding. I use it to write like text for my reels sometimes, but you got to really like work with it a lot for it to do good stuff. It's good at being a psychologist though.
Wow, I never tried that.
It's really good.
I'll go home today. And then we're going to play around with it.
But I make it be the way I want it to be. So because like it has memory, so it remembers. So before I start talking to it, I tell ChatGPT, like, I like Tony Robbins. So be like Tony Robbins. Be positive and optimistic and like powerful, and don't like give me any weak bitch shit. I'm like, I don't like to whine. I don't like to bitch. So don't give me any excuses. No excuses. So first I tell him how I want him to be.
Yeah.
And then it talks to me or he or she or whatever it is, he talks to me in that style. So like I'm basically got a best friend that I kind of created myself.
Have you been to any of Tony's events, like Date with Destiny? Wow.
No, not Date with Destiny. Okay, I've been to a bunch of UPWs. Okay. I just like the vibe. And by the way, every time I go to UPW before, I quit smoking every single time.
Yeah.
Because that good rush. And I walked on the fire. Last time I was there, I walked on the fire 3 times and like, all right, you guys stop. I was like, but it's too cold. I'm like, it's New Jersey. I'm cold.
Unleash the power within, right? They do it in Fiji somewhere? Or they do it a lot of places?
Last time I went, it was in New Jersey. Yeah. It was kind of whack.
Nice. Whenever I found out about Tony, I was still like super young, 15, 16. And I went on the website.
How old are you now?
30.
Go to him one more time before he gets too old because he's getting, you know, his numbers are kind of old.
I went to a conference and he was a guest 3 years ago. He was a guest. He was like a key speaker. And then he came out and started jumping, doing the music.
Yeah, exactly. Like, jumping and doing the music. You know how old he is?
This guy's intense. And he said that. He was like, dude, my knees hurt. Like, I'm doing the best I can. I mean, he wasn't crying.
He's bullshitting. That is not some Tony stuff to say because he's not the complaining kind.
That's right. So the key message is like, I got the message. His knees hurt. But the way he delivered it was like, he wasn't like soft. He was just saying
hard.
Like,
he's a bad
yeah. He's billionaire. So it's not hard. It's not easy to get there. So.
And plus the other thing is he's like legit not like 50 or he's like 65 or 67.
Yeah,
so any show that he's doing, I recommend you go there, sit in, you know, outer space section, sit in. Obviously, the closer to him you sit, the more energy you feel. Yeah. And plus, he used to do more of the shows himself. Now he'll like do part of it and then somebody else will come out and do the rest.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like to dance and scream and shout for like 12, 13, 14, 50 hours, like that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And then to do it for 4 days straight, that takes even more. So I recommend for anybody who's watching this that Tony Robbins's is a really cool guy. Fills you full of energy. Even if you don't listen to what he's saying, even if you just go there, you're going to feel the vibe. You will leave there like, I feel good. And walk on fire. Don't be a bitch. Walk on the fire. It's a metaphor for overcoming challenges.
Yeah. And not only him, like the type of people that attend those events are also magnetic in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's good.
If you hang out with losers, then not much is going to happen.
Yeah. I've kind of cycled through a lot of my friends as I made more money, progressed, and it sucks too.
What does that usually look like? You get a new contract.
Looks like you stop talking to people.
Is that your Urus outside?
That's like my cheapest car, bro.
I got you. So when you, let's say it's your first car, supercar, and you got it, what does that look like in your immediate social circle?
My friends are all cool. They're not haters. So nobody's like, oh, you got an Urus. I hope it like blows up. My friends aren't about that. But the thing for me is like when I got the Urus at first, I wanted to impress. Like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete fucking piece of shit. So I'm just going to say it the way I wanted to impress all of the people that I knew, like, look at me, I made it, haha.
Yeah.
It's so shitty that you want to show off, but it's kind of like you want everybody to clap for you. Like, good boy, good for you. Yeah, you made it, good Urus. But the truth is, when I got my first, like, kind of next level shit car, it was a G63. One of my friends just stopped being friends with me just for no reason, just like that. And he was a really good friend, Anton. He was a good friend.
Yeah.
He was a good friend. And he wasn't like walky or anything. He had a nice car too.
Yeah.
But like, I guess mine was just much nicer. And he really got bummed out when he's like, what are the monthly payments? And I was like, oh, this one I got for cash. And he's like,
that's even more reason for him to. It's
no,
not,
he was hating. He was hating.
No, it makes sense.
And I was kind of like, but why are you hating? Like, I didn't like, it happened so fast. I didn't even rub it in. I was just kind of like, yeah, you want to come? But he was my buddy. I was like, hey, you want to come test drive this new car? He's like, what you got? I'm like, come over. I want to show you. And he came and he drove it. He's like, oh, it's so cool. He's like, what are the monthly payments? And I'm like, I don't know, man. This one I got for cash. I immediately saw he was hating like a motherfucker. He was like, and that sucked dick so badly. I was like, damn, I really love this fucking guy, man. We were really good friends. I called him to talk shit about nothing. And that was a good friend of mine. And just boom, he literally cut me off. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck are you not picking up your phone, dude?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, why? Because I've got a nice car.
Yeah.
And he like made some bullshit of why, but I knew it was bullshit. I knew he was just hating like crazy. And that's when I realized that the higher you go, you either got to make other really fucking rich friends because they're not going to hate on you because they got more shit than you. So like, and when you get really rich friends, like you guys kind of like compete with each other. Like, oh yeah, check out my new Ferrari. You're like, oh yeah, check out my new jet. You're like, oh fuck, I got to level up.
Yeah.
So like, I like being in that kind of circle because like, I'm not going to, like when you're on that level, you got a Ferrari, he got a Ferrari. Like your next shit isn't about expensive. It's more like, oh, check out my rare coin. You know, like, like you're no longer about like who's got the more expensive shit. Now you both want to do good.
That's
and the cool thing that I noticed about like having like friends who have money, it's not like, I'm not trying to say that people who have money are better. They kind of are.
Yeah.
You know, like This guy came to my house that I invited him for dinner. I wanted to give him a really nice dinner and have like a business meeting so we can get to know each other a little better. He came to my house. He brought like a bag of Ferrari shit because he knew about a Ferrari. And Ferrari shit's not cheap. Like Ferrari swag, like a Ferrari hat's like $90. Ferrari pen is like 200. Ferrari keychain is like 100. And he just like we barely know each other. We just met outside somewhere. He's like, oh, cool, let's hang out. I'm like, yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah.
And he came to my house for dinner. And like, it's been a while since somebody came to my house not empty-handed. You know, because your friends who are comfortable with you, they don't come to your house with shit like, oh, like I came to your house, here's a gift. They're comfortable. So they come to your house like, oh, what's up, dude? This guy came like with a bag of gifts. And I was like, fuck yeah, I like your style. And when I go to somebody's house, I also, especially when it's somebody I just met, I also try to like not show up empty-handed, but just manners. By the way, for anybody watching this, like when you go to meet somebody new, you know, it's kind of like a date.
Yeah.
Like don't come with empty hands, bring flowers or like some Ferrari shit.
That makes me feel bad because I only brought my tripods, but I'll do.
Oh, bro, you're bringing your audience to me and I'm bringing mine to you. So that's it. We're giving each otother gifts.
That's a good partnership.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I recommend it. And I do recommend that you set your sights high because we work a lot. You know, we're dudes. We're providers. We work for us. We work for them. We work for the woman that we have, the woman that we're going to get, the kids that we don't have yet. We're like slowly killing ourselves for somebody else because men are simple creatures. You know, give me some food, give me a couple of boys to kick it with, give me a couch to sit on, maybe a TV to watch, you know, some titties to play with, and I'm happy for life.
Yeah.
Other people have higher requirements. So, you know, as guys, it's cool to have other like high level guys as you grow yourself, because if you don't have guys who are higher level than you don't have anywhere to kind of look up to.
You know, I think it's interesting. You said this and made me think about it. Like, generally speaking, the general population throws rocks at rich people as if they're evil or something. But I agree with you. The higher you go, it turns out the better the people are because they're all about service.
I mean, the higher you go, the more people are going to throw rocks at you because they're like, oh, you know, like, rich people.
But that's the people on the bottom, you know. I'm saying people at the top, you would think that they're evil because people call them rich. But those are the best people. So you said that earlier. I was like, man, I agree. I
mean, rich people can do cool stuff. They can give to charity, which a lot of them do.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a lot and you're good yourself, like, what do you have left to do? Like, oh, I have so much. I already got the car. I already got this. I already got that. What's next? I'm going to go do something good. Because it feels good to do good stuff. I mean, if you're a good person. And most people aren't actually evil. I mean, some assholes are evil. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, there are assholes out there. And them being rich doesn't make them any better. They're just assholes with money now.
Nice.
And they're actually kind of cool. They're funny, cool assholes. Because I like to say, I'm like, damn, you're an asshole. But I kind of like your attitude anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, I've had an asshole come to my charity event and he gave 20 G's to my organization. So cool. Thanks, asshole. You know?
They hooked it up.
Cool, asshole. No, he actually became nicer in my book that day.
What would, because you've been in the business for
forever.
Infinity.
Yeah. And
you've had a lot of failures. You've had a lot of businesses.
I have had some failures, yes.
I want to talk about those. But what would be some advice that you think is key to somebody that considers them an entrepreneur that wants to go maybe high in life?
Make yourself have a good relationship with money because you have to respect money. Like, life isn't just about money. But you have to understand it. You have to respect it. Because some people like do not respect money. Like, they don't understand, like, oh, just numbers. I'm like, no, it's actually not just numbers. It's a very, very powerful instrument. And a lot of people don't know what respecting money means. And neither did I until I lost everything I had and went negative 400,000. I made like 10 million bucks at one point.
When was this?
This was 2014.
14, you lost it all.
I lost more than all. I lost more than I had.
Whoa.
So I lost what I had. And then, you know, I know about credit, so I know how to get into debt pretty fucking good too.
Yeah,
and it hurt, man. I was suicidal. I'm not even gonna lie. I have a Instagram reels where one of my guys said, "Have you ever like been to the bottom?" I'm like, "Yep, I've been to some bottom. I've been below bottom. Like, bottom would have been a good point. I was underneath."
Yeah,
and I literally was living in Miami. I sat down on my balcony on the 10th floor. I put my legs over the ledge, and I had no problem talking about this because I didn't kill myself.
Yeah.
But you know, I took a bottle of whiskey, drank it, and I was like, "Okay, I'm drunk now. I can do it." Because, you know, you have to have balls to kill yourself. It's not that easy. And by the way, when that reels came out there, like, if anybody who's watching this is going through some shit, fuck, I don't care. Like, write me on Instagram. And if I don't respond, it doesn't mean I don't care. It means you went to spam. I will literally personally respond to each of you if you're going through some shit where you're thinking about that. Don't do it. Most of you won't do it anyway because that shit is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
But, you know, I lost everything and I was like, fuck, I was really hard to make that money in the first place. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
And like, you know, once you've been so high, it's kind of like ecstasy. You ever done ecstasy?
No.
No, don't do it. It'll put holes in your brain, but it's pretty fucking good. And it's kind of like when you get so high, you're thinking like, can I ever do that again? Can I ever get that feeling?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think I can. I don't think I want to live. And I was straight up suicidal, sat on my ledge, threw my feet over the ledge, and I looked down and I was like,
that's intense.
shit, it's a really fucking long way to go. And it turns out that being drunk doesn't make you that brave. Because I was like, fuck that. I was like, back to just being drunk and depressed I go. And I kind of realized that the problems that I created for myself, I'm just gonna have to deal with them.
How did you start to rebuild, man? You lost everything. I
started slow, bro. I started slow. I was really fortunate that my dad has a company. And I mean, like, I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I don't know how to do business. I suck dick at it. I lost everything. Could you please give me some kind of job? I mean, you know, people are gonna say, see, you had a dad. I'm like, well, I did have a dad and he did help me out. But the point is, my dad by no means, shape, or form gave me a good job or paid me a lot of money. He gave me a shit job for little money and kind of like poked fun at me. And I'm like, well, you're a fucking asshole. Dad, I love you. But he was kind of an asshole for doing that. I was like, well, sometimes maybe you should just say, no, I'm not gonna help you. So I don't have to so I can keep my dignity. But I got a bad job for little money. And it is thanks to my dad because he felt bad for me. He's like, you know what, yeah, come do something. You know, we'll figure out some bullshit job for you. And I actually got pretty damn good at working for my dad. I got really good.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's a really smart guy. He's a rocket scientist. And I'm not. So working in a company that like does rocket science, not being one, everybody there is like rocket scientists. And I'm like, what do you guys do here? I don't understand. Boom, my head is exploding. I actually understood what they did. I like bugged everybody until they told me like and explained to me in stupid terms how it works. And I was actually pretty damn good at sales over there too.
Yeah.
Selling shit I do not understand.
That's cool.
To very serious companies who you'd have delivered loads to. I've seen who you deliver for. Some of those big guys where they have like military gear who I can't talk about because I'm pretty sure they're going to smoke me.
Yeah.
I have sold stuff to them not knowing a damn thing about what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you have a brokerage by any chance of the 17 businesses?
No, man. Trucking is a tough business, which in my opinion, it's a good business. It's a good business. If you don't know how to make money in a different way, there are easier businesses to do than trucking because it's very hard work. And a lot of people don't give it enough credit. You know, it's like really tough. It's a really tough business. And I do have a trucking company too. I think we used to have about 100 trucks. Nobody really knew. I think now we have like 20, 30. I have somebody who runs it for me. I feel that it would be unfair that I didn't suffer like everybody else.
Yeah.
So we got a trucking company too.
Yeah.
We also know what time it is. Some of my buddies have brokerage. I don't have time to learn a new business, nor do I want to. Plus, I know how to make money in other places. And I think the transportation business, while it's a very good business and it does make serious money, it's tough and I don't have time to learn, new stuff right now.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you would say no to, right? Because you're saying it's hard to say no because it's such an appealing thought.
It depends. If somebody make me an offer, I might say yes.
Yeah, nice.
But probably no. Yeah, I hope I have enough. I hope I have enough sense to say no to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised because you're so thoroughly familiar with
that's
sales.
Me. But that's me. Don't forget, that's only one of me. I don't need. I'm not the one who would be doing the work. I delegate.
Right.
So it's about like I know I'm good, but can I find 10 more of me to work there? It's not that easy. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's profound. That's interesting. Yeah. That's a big lesson.
Don't try to do everything yourself.
Entrepreneurs,
don't try to do everything yourself. Try to hire people to do stuff that doesn't require like top level skills. Because you're right, I am good at sales. But you know what? There's better sales guys out there.
That's so cool.
There's better sales guys out there.
In my eyes, as the owner operator, I'm convinced that step deck is the best. I've seen a dentist podcast. He did it with somebody, and his guest said, I bought 20 step decks. And it was the worst thing I've ever made. And I was like, how?
Was his guest Victor?
I can't remember his name. Maybe. Big guy, repair person.
Okay.
They work with Dennis closely. Okay. And I was like, how is the step deck worse? Like, it's the best trailer. And but then talking to you or reflecting on that conversation is because he's not the one pulling a step deck. He has to find people.
Yeah. And maybe if he pulled it, it would be great.
You're right.
But other people don't know what they're doing.
But as an owner, as a business person, he doesn't think about what can I do.
Yeah. He thinks
what can my team do? Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So you're an owner operator, right?
Yeah.
And you have your own truck, your own trailer? Or you lease or rent?
I had a big accident recently. I lost my trailer, but at some point, a month ago, I had my own truck and trailer.
Okay, cool. Well,
I still have the trailer.
I can tell you who can finance you in your trailer if anything. Just saying.
I'll come to you. I got you.
No, I'll take you. What's it called? The point is that I'm very big on like hands-on stuff. And I know that if I do it myself, it's going to be done better.
Yeah.
I have accepted that if you want to grow in business, you have to be okay with 80% as good as you would do. 70%, because if you want everything done just as good as you would do, the point is everything that I can do, if I can find somebody who can do is 70% as good, that's like my minimum threshold. Basically, like I don't even expect you know, if I bring somebody on who does it as good as I do, I'll be like, holy fucking shit, that's amazing.
Yeah.
If I bring on somebody who'll do it better than me, victory is mine.
Yeah.
But if you do it 70% as good as me, I accept it, and hopefully we can get you to at least 80, 85.
Yeah.
The point is, I don't expect to have 10 of me's because, you know, if I had 10 of me's, I'd be working for them, right?
Yeah.
I expect to have 10 people or 50 people or 100 people or 200 people who are not much worse than me, that I consider their work to be satisfactory, because that's the only way to grow. Like, you cannot, I am a perfectionist. So for me, it's super hard to work with people where I know they're not going to do it as good as me. It's like, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my cars. My cars are like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche. Like, all my cars are nice.
Right.
My clothes are nice. My watches are nice. Like, I like nice shit and I things to work nice. The studio is nice. You know, everything I do, I try to do it on the top, highest level.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't always mean that if it was a little worse, it wouldn't be okay. It wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes good enough is good.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs need to understand. It doesn't always have to be perfect.
Wow. You'd be really good at that. I see a lot of people becoming like business coaches. I don't know if you've ever tried consulting. I think you'd be really good at that. That's
one of those things where a lot of people tell me I would be, and I thank you for the compliment, and I consider that a very big compliment. The thing is that I would probably be good at it. And I have a nephew who I teach, and my sister's like, she's like, you're like giving your nephew like business school in a week. She's like, I want to send him to here, here, and here. She's like, I think if you just took him for a week, he just wouldn't need to go to school anymore. I'm like, yeah, the truth is he probably would learn more with me in a week than he would learn in business school in 3-4 years. But once again, if I was actually going to approach, and maybe that's my own fault, maybe that's my perfectionism. If I was going to do coaching, I would need like a plan, and I would need like, you know, structure. Maybe I just need to start doing it.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, I have people who want it.
Yeah, yeah. I bet, yeah. Something that I resonate with when you said that it's better to delegate is I would be in the truck and I would have to drive, whatever, 11 hours. And then you get there.
That's right. Only 11, not a second more.
You get there at 3, 4 a.m. and
after driving for 11 hours.
And exactly. I have to open up the laptop and start editing. But I could not hire somebody because I was like, man, I know which.
You don't still do it, do you?
I still edit like as a recreational.
But it's a hobby. It's a hobby. Yeah.
But that's the thing is that.
Are you good at editing? Good enough?
You have no choice. After 2,000 videos, you get better. But I'm not professional. Like the person that does it full time, he's probably much better than me. But I got pretty good.
2,000 videos is actually a pretty good test case. You know what I mean? After 2,000 videos, I think you'd be pretty good. Plus, you have the vision. But you know, like the editor might be knowing how to edit better than you, but you have the vision.
I see. I see. But something that's changed for me, like an epiphany, is I was very reluctant to. It's not even about the money.
I'm going to interrupt you really quick just because I had an epiphany.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking, who the fuck is going to edit this video? All of my editors speak Russian.
I'm happy that most of it was in English because my editor only speaks English.
My editors only speak not English. They're going to be like, what the fuck is this language?
Yeah, yeah. But basically, I couldn't let go of the video editing process for the longest time because I knew, at least for my content, I'm the best at it. But when I gave it to him, after only a couple of weeks, I realized that, wow, he does a much better job than me.
Does he?
Yeah. And I mean, with stuff like this, like maybe I meet somebody in Russian and it's case by case, I can edit it myself. But the majority, the bulk of my work, most of my videos that went 2, 3, 4, 5 million views were done by him. And so I'm happy I made that jump. I
think we have so much content. I feel like there's like 500 reels in here.
Yeah, we do. I'm telling you, we do. Especially from the time I walked in to here. And then I also want to grab my gimbal and do some shots of the office of the thing. And then I'll clip it in for the clips to make them look better. But yeah.
So you're good at driving a truck. You obviously understand the business. I understand like what you're saying. I understand. I don't want to give you that label.
Go ahead.
Don't get offended. Go ahead. I'm telling you, like, I barely know you, bro. So like, what I can see,
from what you see,
I see you're good at driving a truck.
Okay.
Your content is top notch. You understand what people want to hear. And I don't know if it's you editing or your editor.
Yeah.
But you clearly understand how to make videos that like hit different.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of business aspirations. That's obvious and clear. And I mean, you're very smart. Like, you know, like I can see like you're quick. You know, I can see that. Yeah. I know when I see people who have like a lot going on up there. So like, that's not even a question. And by the way, you said delegating, like you're delegating pretty good. Like, you know, it's not you who's standing videotaping us right now. So
yeah.
So you're good at that already. What's next for you? Because I know that, you know, the trucking may or may not be for you.
I appreciate you asking, man. Because of social media, if I'm honest, because of social media, I've gotten into a lot of trouble. like speeding tickets because I'm running late, or on my phone, the guy catches me.
I don't have that problem at all.
Like,
I do.
Okay. And then, but now I realize like I don't want to be in the truck. Like I could be like the amount of energy that I spend driving the 20 hours, 11 hours. If I put that into somewhere else, it would be so good. In only a short amount of time, the money that comes from that can be spent on delegation. And so I'm slowly at age 30 trying to make the jump.
But you know, I gotta tell you, trucking makes really good money for what it is, because you're making damn near doctor money, and you're not a doctor, and you didn't go to medical school.
Yeah.
So I would say that trucking is a good like leaping point. It's a good jumping point for before you like fly and take off. It's your good like runway. That's where you can make the money. I mean, obviously save as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because it's a good place where you can set aside 100, 200, maybe even 300
grand. 1,000,000%.
And then say, okay, cool, I got some good, money. Now I can jump into something else which I actually really want to do.
Yeah. I've been in it for 4 years and now I'm jumping out. And that somehow insinuates that trucking is bad. No way.
Oh, no.
I think trucking is a blessing. It's the next best thing to like drug money.
Like you're getting doctor money and you're not a doctor.
If you want 6,000, boom, go drive for a week, come back home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know a lot of other things.
What are you making per month right now?
Good. So I'm blessed. Yeah. I have a company that gives me a good rate because of the content.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't give you, you deserve it. You get it, Like give you is like they just hooked you up. Like you deserve it.
I hear you. And then I have a dispatcher whose name is Jesus. Not actually, but he's really.
So you got Jesus on your side, is that what you said?
That's a dispatcher, yeah. I don't know any, like I've had a lot, dozens.
And I think his name says it all.
Yeah. And so he's really good. And then obviously, I have David to help, somebody that does 8-foot tarps, whatever, 45 minutes. Me and David, 15 minutes. So like for us to keep it moving, it's quick. He doesn't help me drive, but with do
you give David a little cheese?
Of course. He has to. He's
getting paid
David. He's getting paid right now. Fat stacks.
Fat stacks.
Yeah.
The only people here who are here for free are me and you.
Yeah. So all those things.
Guys, all of you got to send us some money like right now.
Yeah, cash out.
Cash out. Fat stacks, guys. Fat stacks. Like, like this look like if this goes viral and we get like 10 million people, just like $10 to him and $10 to me, and I promise we're gonna have a pizza party.
Yeah. You guys are invited to the pizza party.
Oh, bro, 100%. Just $10 each.
All things considered, from 25 to 30. I know guys that do more than that, but I think that's pretty good.
You make from 25 to 30.
Take home pay.
Damn, you're making like good doctor money.
Yeah. But I'm jumping out to do social media full time.
You should.
So you're asking me what's my next step? Is that I want to commit.
Are you making money on social media right now?
A little bit, enough to pay for food.
How do you get paid?
That way, currently, a couple people reached out in my 18 months of content saying, hey, I have a product. I'll pay you $1,000 to put it as a story. But you can't really rely on that because it's inconsistent. But the biggest thing.
Pay me $1,000 for a story. Guys, I'll take 900. Because I cut that out. 1,000, not a penny less, and I will take it.
The biggest thing.
I'll say for my camera, I'll take 999.
The biggest thing is the views. Yeah, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
I love content, bro. Like legit.
It's the future.
It's not even about the future. Like you have to like it in order to do it. Yeah. And if you don't like it, just fucking start doing it anyway until you do like it. Because if you're not doing it, and the guy who is doing it, he's gonna beat your ass in life.
You said in your last podcast that whoever you genuinely, honestly feel bad for the person, like pity, that doesn't use ChatGPT. I agree with that, but I want to add to that by saying the person that doesn't make content today, I feel bad for them. AI will come around tomorrow. It'll wipe everybody out, all these jobs.
Bro.
But if you don't have a face, if you don't have a brand, if you don't have an identity.
The thing is, AI can wipe out social media too, because I already have some AI videos of me.
Yeah.
They scare the shit out of me because it's so real.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was messing around and I was sending my ex-girl a video and I said, hey, sweetie, yeah, I totally approve you buying a Birkin bag. I was fucking with her. Obviously, I'm not going to approve no fucking Birkin bag. But I was thinking, like, what if somebody made a video of me saying some stupid shit, put it online and said, see, he said that. I mean, fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, I got some AI videos on my phone. Maybe I'll give it to you.
That's wild.
It's scary, bro. So the thing is, like, you better jump on it.
Right.
And you better start doing something. And if you got to make content today to stay relevant, like do something to stay relevant, because we are all on the verge of being not needed.
Mm-hmm.
So do something that can be replaced, bro.
And that's a motivation to push.
push.
Yeah.
Push because, you know, everybody all the complainers are like, oh, life is hard. I live in this apartment, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? Wouldn't your life be harder if you didn't have that apartment? Because you're like, oh, life is hard. You have a house, I have an apartment. I'm like, well, don't worry about me. Worry about you. You have an apartment. A lot of people don't have a roof over their head at all. And if you're going to complain too much, guess what can happen? You can stop having the apartment too, because AI can replace a lot of people. And as an employer, as a business owner, I'm telling you, AI doesn't complain, doesn't get tired, doesn't have feelings. You can tell it to go fuck itself. It's not gonna tell you to go fuck yourself back. Like it's a scary thing. And you know, that's now, you know, you put that thing into like a little robot that has arms and legs and feet and can carry shit. Woo! That puts a lot of people out of work.
Our boy Elon's working on it. He's got those robots.
He's super not the only one, bro. Like 10 other companies are working on it too. So I'm telling you, the brain part of things, we already got that.
Yeah.
The brain part's already there.
Yeah.
Now we just need the body. Because, you know, imagine you put this, I told you it's my psychologist, right?
Yeah.
So just put this on a little thing that has wheels and hands and feet, and they can pick up boxes and go up the stairs without falling. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
So guys, stay relevant.
Yeah.
Create something unreplicatable. ChatGPT is pretty bad at poetry, so I suggest you make some poems.
I noticed, hopefully it's not a personal question, I noticed your wallpaper a couple of times. Who is that picture of?
It's actually of me, and it's stupid because it's a little narcissistic, but I kind of put this ugly fat motherfucker who was my previous self on here to remember what I recently looked like so people can freak out. I say, this was me 60 days ago.
Wow.
Not 60, at this point, almost 90 days ago.
Wow.
But that's not that long ago.
And that keeps you accountable too. When you look at it in the morning.
Cameras, look at this. For the cameras, this is me less than 90 days ago.
Wow.
And that's me like good 60 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
60 pounds, cigarettes, alcohol, the occasional bump.
Wow. Have you noticed any permanent effects from the fast? 37 days, right?
Well, first of all, I'm glad I didn't die, because apparently that's not very good for you either.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, that is bad for your health and you could potentially die.
Okay.
And I recently found out that very few people have actually fasted more than me. Found out that Jesus fasted for 40 days.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that before. Really? I did. I'd probably fast for 41.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, clarity, outlook, relationship with food, you know, relationship with food, like, because like, you remember how I said respect and money, relationship with money?
Yeah.
Respecting money, by the way, just means like understanding what it is and saving. A lot of people say, oh, I got this much today, I'm gonna have more tomorrow. Don't act that way. Save money, says the guy who stupidly buys cars and shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I buy, I can easily afford, meaning, you know, I have more.
Mm-hmm.
And I still save money. You know, I still like 20 G's there, 50 G's there, 100 G's there. Like I mean, whatever. If you're not at that level, like even 20 bucks here, 50 bucks there, and 100 bucks there, set aside money. Set aside money. Keep setting aside money and count your money. Every morning, wake up and look at your bank account or bank accounts. Say, good morning, money. Just making sure you're still there. Good stuff. Don't invest in the stupid shit that you don't understand. Stocks and crypto. If you're a genius and expert at stocks and crypto, go for it. No problem. If you don't know a damn thing about it, don't mess with it. It will bankrupt you.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you to elaborate. What does it mean to respect money? And that enters it. Just know what it is, like, know where it goes.
Because I didn't used to respect money. That's why I lost it all. Because I was like, oh, money, spend.
Yeah.
There's more where that came from. You know what? Maybe there is more where that came from. But you know how good it feels to have like a wall of money behind you where like, oh, shit, we have a little loss here. You know what it takes to make money? It takes the ability to know how to lose money. Because, you know, not all of my investments that I make are good ones. I lose money too. I try to make more good decisions than I do bad ones. And I try to weigh out every move I make. And I try not to be stupid with money. I try not to let people borrow money too much. Even though, I mean, of course, I'm lying. I let a lot of people borrow money. I let my friends borrow money. Yeah. You know, guys, I'll tell you one thing about borrowing money. When you're borrowing money to a friend or whatever, never borrow money that you can't afford to lose. Yeah. Because whenever I let my friend borrow money, it's kind of like I'm giving it to him because I don't want to chase him down. And like, if my friend's smart enough to pay me back, like in, you know, the time that we agreed, then he knows that later if he needs money, I'm like, oh, you know, you're good for it because you pay me back. But some of my friends borrow money and then like they're kind of hard to get on the phone. And I'm like, hey, when you needed money, you were a lot easier to reach. Yeah. All of a sudden you got some of my money and all of a sudden you're a little harder to reach. I don't like that.
That's a good way to test their friendship, right? To give them some money.
Fuck all that. You know, I tell you, here's a one-liner for you guys who don't want to let your friends borrow money. I would, but I know that it's going to ruin our friendship. And for that reason, I love you as a friend. So I'm not going to let you borrow any money. And that's how you get
That's
cool.
good.
That's like how you suave don't let your friend borrow money.
Yeah. And it's real.
Because the truth is, the minute you let your friend borrow money, he actually will be harder to reach because like that he got what he needed. And fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're like, you're going to feel shitty inside. If you let somebody borrow money and they like stop answering the phone, you're going to be like, when you needed money, you were a lot easier to reach.
Yeah.
You know? Don't let your friends borrow money, guys. That'll literally fuck up your friendship because they're not going to pay you back on time ever.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a genius. Because smart people know, like, if you borrow money, you pay it back on time because you just might need to borrow it again. And then you pay it back again on time. And you know what? The more you pay back money on time, that person lets you borrow it, they will let you borrow money every time.
I guess the only difference between like a bank lending money and a friend to a friend is a contract, right?
I don't know about you, man. I let my friend borrow money with contract too. Oh. Man, that shit has interest in it too. Hey, friends, I got contracts.
Where my money at?
Where is my fucking money at? All of you motherfuckers. That's the reels right there. That's the reels right there that gets cut that somebody says that to their friend who owes the money. Like, where is my money at, motherfucker? Pay me back my money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you do the fast again now that you did it?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean, I will do a fast again. I don't know if I can physically, in a healthy way, do another 37 days because if I told you all the shit that I went through, bro, like I thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like I lost my short-term memory.
Wow.
Actually, when you met me, you saw that I just did an IV.
Yeah. Because
I'm still on a big calorie deficit. Because I still want to continue losing weight. I like feeling light. And I'm having like a little bit of short-term memory loss problems. Like, I mean, I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
But I feel that I was better at it before about like remembering things. So I call my IV guy. I'm like, listen, dude, let's do like some vitamin B, B12, B complex amino acids, this, that, the other. You know, like let's juice me up because I'm feeling a little tired because I'm sleeping less for whatever reason these days. Mm-hmm. Maybe I just need less sleep because I don't drink and smoke anymore. My body's like, oh, cool. We don't need to recover for so long because, you know, I look at my brain and my body as two different people. Yeah. That's why I always refer to me as we. Like, you know, like what are we doing today? I even talk to myself. No, I'm not crazy.
Sorry to interrupt. Because you mentioned Tony Robbbins. You mentioned a couple ideas that are not like mainstream, like considering, or I guess separating your identity from your brain. Or I'm wondering if there's like an author or a book that you studied that you took a lot from, like personal development.
I mean, I went to school and, you know, like a lot of people say like, oh, I don't want to go to school. You know, neither did I. I also didn't want to go to school, but my mom wanted me to. So I was like, I wanted to make my mom happy. So I went to school anyway. Sure. I studied a lot of philosophy and it's not one book, you know, there's probably a lot of books that I read just because, you know, couldn't pass the class without them. Yeah. About separating the mind and body, that would probably be the guy who said, I think, therefore I am. Who was that? I guess it was Socrates, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it doesn't matter who it was. If you Google the word, I think, therefore I am, I think it's Socrates. What that really meant is the philosopher said, how do I know, you know, the movie The Matrix, right? Yeah. And like, they said like, how do I know that this body is real? How do I know these shoes are real? How do I know this watch is real? This could all be like Matrix, you know, I might have a little cord in the back of my head and somebody's making me think that I'm seeing all this. Thing that you know for sure, the thing that you know for 100% is that you exist, that your brain exists. Because I'm talking and I'm thinking and I'm visualizing it. So while my body may or may not be real, maybe this is all fake. Maybe somebody's making me think this. I know that I, as an existence, as a human, as a brain, I am real because I'm having these thoughts. And then the body, these arms, these hands, these feet, is it real or not? Who knows? But I know for sure that I'm real. So if this body is real or not is a question. Yeah. If this brain is real or not is a fact because I'm thinking as we speak. So that's kind of like the separation. And then for me, myself personally, I have to go through a lot of shit in my life. Like I've gone through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit. I've been through some crazy shit. And without like kind of talking to myself, I may have not made it. Yeah. So I have learned how to talk to myself and like not like in the crazy way, like, you know, people who walk down the street, you know, scream things. Yeah. Like I just calmly and comfortably say, Alex, how are we feeling?
And that's all you have. In 2014, when you lost everything, I bet all your buddies at the top, they ignored you. And so all you had is you and your
thoughts. Now why the fuck you know that? And it's true. Yeah. It's true. I mean, they didn't ignore me. Like there was one or two friends who actually sent me money, like in large amounts. I hit one of my friends, Yakov, thank you, brother. I'm never going to forget it. I'm hitting one of my friends, said, listen, bro, I'm going down. Like I need help. And he's like, what do you need? I was like, I don't fucking know. I need some money probably. He's like, what instructions? Boom. End of conversation. Good for him. Maybe what I really need was for him to talk to me. Maybe I just needed a conversation. Who knows? But he's rich and he's like, money. which is cool. I'll take it. As opposed to all those guys who's like, oh, you got problems. Oh shit, look at the time I gotta go. Click. And I was like, fuck, it's good to know I have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all the men out there, welcome to the reality of life. When you're going through shit, get ready to go through that shit by yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to hear about your problems. Don't call anybody to bitch because you're gonna lose a lot of friends. And then you're gonna feel even shittier because you're gonna realize that nobody gave a fuck about you in the first place, which is why you start talking to yourself because you're like, who cares about me? And then you're like, oh yeah, I care about me. Don't forget to care about you. That's what I'm saying. There's two people care about this body of yours. That's why I lost all that weight, because I was like, you know what? My life is good. I got money, I got a business, I got cars, I got a nice house, I got shit.
Yeah.
My life is good. Why am I killing myself with cigarettes, alcohol, bumps, going out, eating shitty food? I just kind of had something clicked, and I was like, I want to live like a really long time because I want to enjoy all this stuff. I'm 40. I'm about to be 41. Like, I'm not 20, not even 30. I'm over 40 now. Yeah. About to be. So I realized that, you know what? I want to do everything in my power to live as long as possible.
Good for you.
And that's why I did all this.
Yeah.
And fasting was kind of like cheating, because losing weight like the hard way would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah. Wow. I admire you for that, man. You're tackling all parts of life. You're not neglecting money. You're not neglecting health. You have a family, I'm assuming. I don't know.
I don't have a relationship anymore. I did have one, but I actually, when I quit doing everything bad, I kind of realized that my relationship was also pretty fucking toxic. And since I want to live long, I had to pinpoint all the things that can prevent me from living long. Stress is a killer. Like people get sick and that's what kills them. But what makes your immune system get weakened is stress. Wow. And stress gets caused by shitty toxic relationships. So I had to lose that too. And it sucks because my girl was like really smart and beautiful, but she was a little toxic. So I had to tell her, hey, listen, maybe we're just not good with each other because you're such a great person. And I had to let it go.
No kids?
No kids. No kids. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have any. I just don't have any yet. And people get late start. I'm a little late to that party. But since I'm in such good health now, I can have kids and I can like still, run around with them.
And you got fat stacks.
I got fat stacks. Whenever you're like kind of lacking on time, you got money to compensate.
There's any ladies looking for a husband?
Since I'm pretty new to this being single thing, I'm actually good being by myself. And believe it or not, when you're me, it's not a problem to get ladies. It's actually more of a problem to like stay single. So I'm good for now. But listen, if you're a good candidate and you have a good credit score, I'm just kidding. I actually went to this dating expert and she's like, what are your criteria? I'm like, well, above 800 credit score would be good. And she's like, shut the fuck up. Are you serious? I'm like, I got a good credit score. Yeah. I want her to have one too.
You say, I don't want to do extra hard inquiry removal.
I would if I have to, but I would like to see that she's like responsible.
That's the
having good credit shows that you're responsible.
That's awesome. Wow, that's awesome. Alex, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure seeing your awesome studio, talking to you, meeting your team. I'm happy we're able to get together, and
I'd love to see you, progress in your new upcoming social media career. I mean, I'm always, you know what? Check out the studio. You're welcome to use it whenever you're in Chicago. We have it. We have a bunch of sound, light, and everything. So my studio, your studio.
Man, I really appreciate that. I do. I'm probably going to be moving to Chicago.
Good city.
Yeah.
A little cold in the winter.
I bet. Yeah, well, I know. I guess driving a truck, but a lot of networking opportunities with diesel shops, with carriers, with anything. And even if I want to build my own company, I think there's a lot of people here that can help.
Bro, first of all, you already did an interview with Dennis Panev. Yeah. He's a really good networker, number one. A pretty wise guy, number two. He really knows what's up. And there's so many great people here who watch your content. Yeah. I see who our mutual friends are. You have good people subscribe to you, so you're already ahead of the game. Yeah. And doing content, I helped the one blogger, Sisun, get from one truck, actually from 0 trucks to 40, and he's probably going to keep going even higher. Wow. So, there is a business there.
What was his name?
Sisun. I am American. So I'll show you his content. He's famous. He got 250,000 legit non-fake followers on Instagram, because a lot of people have some fake ass followers. Wow. And he's got 1.3 million on YouTube.
Good for him. Wow. Yeah. 40 trucks is also not a walk in the park. Good for him.
Right now it's actually pretty tough. Yeah. And, right now the more trucks you have, it doesn't mean the better you are. It actually means like the more pain you have. Yeah. So guys in trucking, hopefully things are going to get better. Mike.
Thank you for meeting me. See you guys later. Bye.
Adios.